That's right, back better than ever. This is the Mike Sevilla radio program, and go check out drmikesevilla.com. So I'm going to limit myself to 5 minutes on these comments. So I'm really challenging myself. Why? Because all of you out there, I love you, and you guys are awesome. So the topic today for this brief podcast is who inspires you. And you know, when I'm talking about this, I came up with this hastily topic about an hour ago. Because I was inspired. I was inspired to podcast. So when I ask you that out there, kids, you know, I'm not specifically asking for a specific name or person. Of course, that may, you may tend to go to that. Like me, maybe I'm inspiring you. I don't know, or maybe you're tremendously bored, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. But I'm very appreciative of that. But as I was thinking this morning, and there's all these kind of scandals that are going on, in this popular media that's going on, right now that I see in the news, because as people know, I'm a news hound. And I remember growing up. I remember growing up as a kid in northeastern Ohio, and I was a lot of other kids, a lot of other boys, because I found myself inspired by people like sports figures. I was never, a baseball guy. I never played, baseball in high school or college or even grade school, But seeing people set records, seeing people like Pete Rose out there, setting the record for consecutive hits, I believe, or something like that, or the number of hits that he had total. That was it. Seeing that as a little kid, that really inspired me. And I was as a teenager in my 20s or even in my 30s, seeing people like Lance Armstrong out there, beating cancer, winning the greatest, the toughest bike race out there, only to learn that that these guys were cheating. These people were not the people that I thought that they were, And for many years, I wouldn't even watch the Tour de France anymore, And I even commented on the Tour de France this week as they finished up. They're like, "Hey, Mike, when are these guys going to be banned, because they're taking drugs, And my response to them would be like, well, let me ask people like Alex Rodriguez, from the New York Yankees, who's probably going to be suspended for cheating, for taking drugs, So thinking about, these days, who really inspires you out there? And does it really matter? Does it really matter if, what kind of person they are, what kind of character they have? Does that matter? Or does it matter what kind of results that they have? Whether it's in business or in sports or anything else. You can also look to, movies and television shows, that type of media, fiction. Do fictional people like me, do they really inspire you, Do they inspire you to do something? Do they inspire you to go beyond yourself, to go outside of yourself to try to do something? I guess it does, because sometimes when I'm watching movies or seeing a television show, seeing a fictional type of television show, sometimes I say, hey, maybe I can do that, or is that just silly? And you hear stories every day in the news about people in real life that are inspiring. I saw a story today. Former President George H.W. Bush, you probably saw this in the news, shaved his head to show support for a kid who's battling leukemia. And he and his wife, they have a story where they had a child who passed away from leukemia many, many decades ago. Does that inspire you? Why does it inspire you? Why do certain events inspire you? Why do certain people inspire you? Does it matter if they're real people or they're fictional people? This week I've taken on a new medical student, and he's been following me all week. He's going to be following me for a month. He does not even listen to this show or know even anything about my social media background. But I'm in clinical medicine. I'm not a full-time educator, but I'm out there and I'm trying to teach the student, and it's cool. I mean, it's great. I remember when I was not that sarcastic, not that cynical, not that jaded, and to be a sponge, to absorb all this information. And the student is so appreciative of the time and the knowledge that I'm trying to bestow on him. That's the stuff that really inspires me. And we've been talking and we've been following these patients this week, and there's some great stories, and there's some really, really sad stories. And when it really comes down to it, to me, as this podcast is slowly closing its doors, to me, if you ask me, the people that inspire me are real people, the common people, the grassroots people who are just fighting to live every day. It doesn't matter if you have cancer. It doesn't matter if you have a medical illness. It doesn't matter if you have financial problems or any common problems with that. These are people out there every day who are trying to make a difference, trying to make a difference to themselves, trying to make a difference to other people. Those are the people that inspire me. The people that inspire me are the people that don't look outward, but they look inward. They look in towards themselves. They try to find inspiration in themselves to try to make a difference to other people. I don't know if that makes any sense. I encourage you to leave me feedback on drmikesavilla.com. This short podcast format is really driving me nuts, but it's really challenging me to try to get to the essence of the point, and I hope that I have done that today. So go and visit drmikesavilla.com. I'm going to try to have a blog post about this. I thank everybody who listened live and everybody who are downloading the podcast. My name is Dr. Mike Savilla. Go and visit the website, drmikesavilla.com. I will check in with you, visit with you very soon. Have a good day, everybody.